Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are in the world. My name is Vicky Thomas and I am your founder of Hit Talks Live. And I want to welcome you. I want to welcome every single person here watching the live. I want to welcome every single person here watching the replay. And welcome to this special edition episode of Hit Talks Live. People say to me, Vicky, what is Hit Talks all about? Well, Hit Talks is the talk show which is all around hope, inspiration and transformation. And it is all around 8-minute messages, 8-minute messages of hope, inspiration and transformation, where we bring together 8 speakers from all over the world to share their stories. And it came as a divine download of do something round the power of 8, the infinity, balance, harmony, all the things that you think about abundance is all around the figure of 8. And it has been absolutely magical. And every episode works on the energies of the day. And it's a fantastic day today because this is not just a special edition of a Hit Talks episode, but this is also a launch, because this special edition is in collaboration with my dear friend and soul sister, Isabella Tattoo. And she is launching her own special edition, but she's also launching her platform, Ladyship RoundTable. And it's absolutely fantastic when you think about the energies and you think about how everything happens in the world. And, there's the full moon going on at the moment. We're going into a new transformational world. So many things are happening. And then when you think about energy and you think about launches and you think about togetherness, today the energy is all about togetherness. It's all about community. It's all about creation. It's all about literally weaving magic, weaving hope, weaving inspiration and weaving transformation. And what I love about Isabella's launch is that, when you speak about magic that's going to happen, when you speak about inspiration that's going to happen, when you speak about getting out there and showing the truth that, women can step into their power, women can lead, women can actually work fantastically and lead a male-dominated industries. I was speaking to Isabella, and her taglines is inspiration, empowerment, and passion. And I was like, inspiration, empowerment, and passion, and hope, and inspiration, and transformation. It is truly, truly, truly a marriage made in heaven. And this is what we love, because I am not here to host this episode of Hit Talks. I have the amazing Isabella. She has her own 8 speakers. She has brought together some masters in the field, in digital, in technology. She works, I'm not going to go too much into it because I want Isabella to share her magic. But, if you look at Isabella's bio and you look about what she's done in the world, in the tech, in the oil, in the gas, in the trading industry over the last 20 years. She's literally moving. She's a mover and she's a shaker. And she's doing this, as I say, in the shipping world and in the maritime industry, and really making a difference. And I am super excited to be able to pass the reins to such a lovely lady on her launch of the Ladyship Roundtable, and listen to these inspiring, motivating, empowerment people full of passion. So Isabella, I am so grateful that you are hosting your own episode at Hit Talks, and I now pass the reins to you for your special edition as the host. So sending you so much love.
Oh, hello, Vicky, and thank you so much for these amazing introductions. And it's such an honor to collaborate together in launching my passion project. So, welcome to the inaugural live ceremony launch of the female maritime exploration project called Ladyship at the Roundtable. Our team is around the world in 64 minutes. Our missions is to achieve cultural diversity and gender equality in all the segments across the energy segment and climate change, is to inspire and to empower women working in all these segments to seek out new ways that decarbonization and the digitization of the industry, and to boldly sit at the round table. Ladyship at the Roundtable, it is a talk and a motivational series around women working in these sectors. We invite all the women working or wanting to join this sector to join us in this launching and in the future episodes. This launch is very special because together, as Vicky said, we're having some shared passions. So there is hope, inspiration, transformation. Our motivations are inspiration, empowerment, and passion. Because as I said, our mission is to inspire and empower women to find their passion so they can boldly sit at the round table. As you can see, we're having some teams here. We're talking about the round table, which, as you can tell, has a symbolistic, metaphorical name. One is coming from King's Arthur Round Table, which is a book I read as a child, which has inspired me since then. And I would like to everyone to have a seat at the round table to express their voices, because unfortunately, even to this day, this doesn't happen. So, why I have come up with this idea? As some of you know, I'm coming from, I grew up in a communist regime. I moved to London. I worked in the shipping and trading commodities for the last 22 years. I have been very, very lucky to work with amazing women and men. I have lots of mentors who have supported me, amazing managers, mentors who have believed in me, helped me to become the person I have become. I always believe in the freedom of speech, gender equality, and diversity. And one of my proudest moments was when I had a chance to create my own team and to build a team which was based on this gender equality and diversity. So for the last few years, I've been continuing thinking of how to create a program about mentorship. Unfortunately, it didn't happen at the time. The time wasn't right. This year, pandemic has brought up to me the need of doing this project quite faster than later. There's been also other kind of personal reasons. One of them, which I'm going to mention a bit later, is quite a personal one. Somebody very close to me, unfortunately, has passed away a couple of weeks ago, and this has someone who I was quite close, and I kind of was my mentee. So that made me fast forward this project. So initially, this project was going to be launched next year. However, due to personal circumstances, I decided to move it forward. So I'm dedicating this launch in the honor of my friend who passed away recently. So now that's been said, let's start our voyage. So I'm so excited because we are going around the world, like Jules Verne, around the world in 80 days. Our show is around the world in 64 minutes. Why is that? Because we're having 8 guests. Each guest is going to talk about 8 minutes about all the aspects of the industry. We're going to go into renewable energy. We're going to talk about wind, technology, women who have been in the industry for a long time. And I'm so excited and I'm so passionate that I'm having these amazing women who are joining us from all over the world. And as you can see, I'm having my friend here. We're going to travel the world and we're going to do it together. So, okay, now we're starting our voyages of exploration. And I like to start with our first stop, which is going to be United Kingdom. Where is it? Here. And the next guest is someone I met a few years ago. 3 years ago at a conference, I was with another good friend of mine presenting on a project we were working together, and this amazing woman was talking on a panel, and I said to myself, oh my goodness, this is an amazing, inspirational woman, and I need to meet her. We met, and I'm so honored to call this lady a friend, and more than honored that she's joining us today, and she's our first guest. Her name is Diane Gelbin, and she leads Smart Green Shipping, a collaboration industry initiative designed to develop technically, commercially, and environmentally superior system solutions for shipping. SGS is progressing a project retrofitting dry bulk ships with fast rig TM wing sail, Partners include the Institution of Mechanical Engineers, European Space Agency, Trucks, the UK's largest renewable power generator, ship owners, operator, ultrabark, insurers, and financiers. Diane was recognized by the BBC's Our Power List 2020. She advises the UK government as a member of the Clean Maritime Council. She is a green shipping expert for the Steerer Waterborne EU Transport Platform. She won an Innovate UK Woman Innovation Award in 2016, one to watch at Ship Efficiency Awards 2015. She co-designed the Ambition 15 Global Shipping Action Plan at COP23 in Bonn. Diane, welcome, and thank you for joining us.
Hello, thank you. Gosh, what an honour. I am deeply honoured and very grateful to have been invited by the amazing Isabella to participate in this show and to start the first leg of the journey around the world. And I just need to set my 8-minute timer, and I'm using all of my minutes now to do that. But we stand here on the edge of a new decade. There are a group of amazing women that you're going to meet during the day, and I can't imagine what there isn't to not love about this. So I want to introduce myself. I'm Diane Gilpin. My work is all about how we address the twin challenges of the climate and nature emergency that face us as a global community. Specifically, I focus on shipping and the contribution that shipping makes to that emergency and the opportunities that arise for the industry by adopting ambitious strategies that tackle those two interconnected crises. I had a bit of an unconventional education. I left school at 17 after having a really big row with my dad. And after several dead-end jobs, I did manage to get myself back into college when I was 21 on my own account. I loved learning, but my lack of early education meant I couldn't do what my heart desired, which was to do a master's degree. But fate knew better, and I was very fortunate to get a job on the first cellular telephone system company in the UK, and it set me up for my whole life. It was all about innovation, it was all about inspiration. Back then, few people could imagine how mobile phones, like mine, could change the world, but my colleagues could. And look at this now, this has got more computing power in it than the early moonshots, and that's how people with imagination and inspiration can start to change the world. And from that start, I went on to work in Formula One, I worked in yacht racing and in renewable energy. And all of those jobs focused on pushing boundaries, on imagining the future, on facing down opposition. And so combining that expertise from yacht racing and from renewable energy, I set up a business about 4 or 5 years ago, pioneering 21st century wind technology for shipping. We work, as Isabella has just said, across the industry, including cargo owners, ship owners, and we have collectively designed a fully automated, fully recyclable, retractable, robust wing sail system that can be fitted on a retrofit onto existing industrial sized ships, and those systems are proven to reduce emissions and fuel costs by 25%. But our fast rigs are powered by satellite enabled systems so that they're fully automatic and they're intelligently routing themselves. And that's just the first step on the journey. Our ultimate aim, as Isabella has mentioned, is 100% renewable powered, technically and commercially superior system solutions for ships that are both renewably built and renewably powered. So it's materials and energy. So what we're talking about here is real zero emissions. But the adoption of this technology and many other brilliant solutions is thwarted by many, many barriers. But we now know what an emergency response looks like. What COVID has shown us is that a global emergency doesn't know about borders. It doesn't know about how it transmits across geographical regions. And we know that well-funded and diverse teams can solve problems really quickly. Who knew that a vaccine could be delivered quite so quickly as we're now seeing? And we urgently need that same sort of well-funded, urgent response to the climate and nature emergency that we face. Generally speaking, investment isn't made too much into the real economy. I mean, in shipping, finance is more to do with trading assets, with buying and selling ships, with future trading on fossil fuel prices and those sorts of things. What we don't do is ask cargo owners, what do you want? And when we ask them that, they said, we want to buy green shipping. But that's not yet available because the shipping industry is not yet set up to fund the shift. The banks can't finance unproven technology. They can't subjugate their senior debt. There's a lot of obstacles. And on top of that, the whole kind of cult of the entrepreneur, where we dangle the carrot of huge personal wealth, it's created a warped investment paradigm where the making of huge money for a small amount of people is more important than preserving the place that all of us call home. And in shipping, we tell ourselves stories. We tell ourselves that shipping is only responsible for 2.5% of global greenhouse gas emissions. Well, that's more than Canada, that's more than Germany, and it's twice as much as the UK. So if shipping doesn't pull its weight, everyone else has to work harder. And we also tell ourselves that we're the most efficient form of transport, and we are. But it doesn't mean to say that we don't have to do anything. We know that consumers are now much more enthusiastic about paying better prices for better quality and sustainable goods. More and more people appreciate that there is no business, there is no consuming on a dead planet. And that green shipping powered by wind can actually be cheaper. So it's a win-win-win is how I like to think of it. At this auspicious time, on this day, we can feel the winds of change. The old systems are based on outdated thinking. And we've been working with Donut Economics, which is written by the great Kate Raworth. And I urge you to read this book. It describes how we can create a thriving future for all of us within planetary boundaries. And that, I think, is also complemented by this other really helpful little book. It's called Transformative Innovation. And it's slim, but it's a how-to guide. It says, how do we do this transformation that we want to achieve? And one of the key aspects of that book is that we need more women. We need more women on the team. We need more women of colour. We need more Indigenous wisdom. And we need more unconventional thought. There is hope. I was recently voted, as Isabella said, onto the Planet Power list. And obviously that was a really, really great honour. But what was most fantastic for me about it was meeting all of the other women. So much talent, so much passion, so much knowledge. And what was common about it was that we had all spent more time working on our projects than we had promoting ourselves. And so that's the importance of storytelling. And that's why it's so important to me to be here with you tonight. As I approach the new decade, I'm inspired by my work in yacht racing. When we entered a race, we would know where we had to go. We'd have to go around the world along against the prevailing winds and currents. But we had to find ways of doing that. We built the best and safest boats we could. We assembled and trained both physically and mentally a diverse crew. We set our goals and intentions for the challenge ahead. It's emotionally, it's physically, and it's financially grueling. We knew we could be as best prepared as possible, but eventually we had to set off. We didn't know what the journey was going to hold for us. We didn't know what the challenges were going to be, but we did know that we were courageous and imaginative and ambitious. And we knew that we'd cover each other, we could trust each other, and we could support each other to make good decisions. We know we are the ones that have been brought together right now to tell our stories that contribute to the transformation of our collective futures. In this spirit, and on this night, I hand you back to Isabella to guide you to the next leg of this exciting journey. Hold fast, my friends, hold fast. Thank you very much.
Sorry, I was muted. Technology, I'm trying to get my head around it. So, yes, how inspiring Diana is. I mean, she's one of my true inspiration, one of my role models. And one note I want to make about this, as you may know, UK government is holding the UN summit for the climate change next year. And you may remember that back in September, the UK government has announced the team leading the summit, and all the team had only senior male members, no female. However, since then, there's been lots of pressures, and there are some letters open, which I urge you all to sign it. So to have women part of this summit representing the UK government. I mean, Diana is one of the women that should be there together with other amazing women in the field representing United Kingdom. Thank you, Diana. Okay, so now our next voyage is taking us east to Suez. So we're going to go to passing the Suez Canal. We're going to meet an Alexandrian-born lady who currently works in Dubai. This amazing lady is someone I had a pleasure to work with many years ago. I think 7, 8 years ago. I was in London office. She was in Dubai office. And I remember we understood each other very well from the start. We had a very good working relationship, and we became close friends in the process. Someone I respect very much as a woman, as a professional, someone who has worked in this industry, in the bank industry for so many years, and she has worked with so much passion, dignity, and respect. So my next guest is Shireen Sharif. And besides working in the banker trading for the last 24 years, she recently, in the last year, she started working as well alongside for a Pinnacle, the Dubai branch, with the goal of creating a more engaged human soulful purpose organization. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you now to Shireen. Shireen, the floor is yours. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Isabella, very much for this introduction. I'm very honored to be part of this group. Let me start by saying Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone here. Being in shipping was very challenging and interesting journey for my career. I started in Egypt, then I moved to United Arab Emirates since about 14 or 15 years now. I have lots of challenges being a woman entering this sector about shipping and bunkering. I started in shipping first in operation, and then shifted to bunkering. I had the passion for it. I liked the job. It started by coincidence that my manager in Egypt asked me to help a friend of him who's fixing some bunker for vessels in Suez Canal, and then I started to really like this job and growing the business slowly. And from there I moved to Dubai and started for working for different companies. It was challenging as a woman indeed. Lots of people are unfortunately not accepting a woman to be in this industry, regardless of where they're coming from or their education or whatever. They still don't accept having a woman. I will never forget that I was in a meeting with one of my team, and the client whole time, whenever I speak, he doesn't even look at me. And in the end, I was saying thank you very much, and my colleague was saying, she's my manager, I'm new to this job and I don't have my business cards. If you don't mind, this is her business card, just with a general email, so you can start sending me inquiries to this email. And he looked at me and he said, she's your manager, a woman is your manager. And this was the biggest insult I got in front of my face ever. I worked with one manager who was not really accepting me being a woman. um, but you know what, working hard proves that you can make it, that you understand what you're talking about, either to clients or to your managers or to your colleagues or the teams you're working with. Is always have been effective, that you gain the honors or you gain the respect of these people. What I would like to say to myself, if I go back with years, that yeah, I know you have to work hard to prove that you're good enough and people are pushing you, but have more time for your family, have more time for your son, watch him grow. Because unfortunately, that was the price I had to pay over the years. And I really advise everyone, either working for this sector or any sector, have the passion for what you're doing. If you love what you're doing, if you have the passion for whatever you're doing, things are completely different. You will be successful, you will achieve it. If you don't like the job, if you don't like what you're doing, it will be different. We have long hours, we hardly sleep. If you have a problem in the vessel, like 3 o'clock in the morning, you have to stay awake. Maybe you're in a different time zone. It's very challenging, it's very hard, it's very rewarding in the end. But to reach this part, or the rewarding part, you have to work hard for it. But again, have the passion. Whatever you like, have the passion for whatever you like or you want to achieve. One of the things I am doing at the moment, that I'm trying to be involved in other fields, is not only in shipping and bunker. Although I work as a bunker manager for Mid Petroleum in the Middle East in the last 2.5 years now, but I also joined for a year now another company called Pinnacle, and we're doing consultations. We're doing some consultations to companies, not necessarily in the energy sector, in general, like new companies, how to establish a company, where to go. If you have a company that's not doing well, we help them to understand where is the problem or the challenge and they're having, and how we can give them some advice how to go through it. This is kind of passions for me, because I like to help others. I like to pass the experience. I'm proud if anything I can do or say can help someone else in order to grow their business. And this was really something I'm very proud of. What I want to say is more women in the industry, because we are capable for this job. We understand what we are doing. We are clever enough to know how to do it and to really fulfill our positions, either being a trader, being a bunker manager, or being a senior manager. We do understand what to do. So please stop criticizing us and start appreciate us more. Uh, what I want to say to the young generation who wants to join the sector, it's very interesting sector, but it's not an easy sector. You have to do sacrifice. You sacrifice your time. You're not going to be a manager in 1 month or in 1 year. It requires lots of work. It requires that you've proven to be that good. Work on yourself, work with your team as a team, work with your managers, try to understand more about them, and the most important thing, as I said before, have the passion for it. You will be rewarded financially, you will be rewarded in your position and everything, but you have to have the passion. Love what you are doing. If you don't love it, look for something else you really love and you really want to do with your life. It's long process. Yes, you work 24/7. Yes, you will find difficult clients. Yes, sometimes it's not fair how you lose the deals. Yes, but it's not always like that. And life, who said that life is fair? It always happens. Okay, so be ready for that challenge and believe what you are doing. I believe in yourself, and for sure you will reach it's a very 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 high standard and high positions. What I'm proud of now, I'm proud when I see a new generation or someone coming to me and say, I want to be like you when I grow up. I'm proud when I see my son saying that I'm proud to say that you are my mom. This is really rewarding. This is the most beautiful thing about this, that you found people looking for you like a role example, that they want to be there, they want to be like you because you did achieve it and you had the passion to reach what you have reached now. So just work on yourself, do your best, go through all the challenges, don't let anything get you down, and believe that you can make it because you can. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's so nice to see Shireen. Thank you so much for your point, and I totally agree with you. Our job, it's 24/7. I mean, I think many people they can say we can have nights not sleeping because of different issues, but we need to love the job and the passion. We need to have the passion. That is all that matters. And then finding solutions. It's always the way we handle problems. We always have to have a positive approach. So I totally agree with you. And talking about the new generation, this platform also, the goal of the platform is to help each other. The industry is so vast, it's a place for everyone. We need to create a mentoring to help each other. The younger generation needs to be helped by the senior generation. So I'm hoping that we're going to create a close-knit network, support network that we can help each other to conquer any challenges and obstacles. So thank you so much for joining us. Okay, so now to our next port call. So we're going to India. And oh my goodness, I'm having this amazing, truly inspirational another lady. I have to say, I'm surrounded only by amazing women. Actually, in my personal and my professional life, all the women around me are amazing. I love all the women. I love people, but I can say that all the women are amazing. And I'm so honored to have this young lady from India who is a chemical nuclear. I mean, the power, the intellect, the knowledge that she has, it's amazing. And I am passionate about the hydrogen. I work on hydrogen fuel cell project, and she really caught my attention when I saw different articles written by her, and I wanted her to participate in the show. So here it is, Ruksha from India. She is a chemical engineer and she's working in the field of nuclear cogeneration. She's been working for 10 years and she's addressed various areas, including engineering for the nuclear energy domain, renewable, sustainable energy, hydrogen energy, nuclear and renewable hybrid energy systems, and nuclear cogeneration project. And her current interest is all related to energy transition and deployment of technology of scale, particularly clean energy technologies. And this is what we need right now. Over to you, Ruksha, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Hello and good evening to everyone. I am Ruksha, a chemical engineer by profession, working in the nuclear energy sector in India. I have to begin by thanking Isabella for inviting me to be a part of this event, to be her guest at this roundtable. While I do not directly represent the shipping industry, which is why probably I had a lot of doubts about what value I could possibly add to this gathering, which already has so many talented and experienced ladies from the shipping sector directly. But the fact is that the energy transition, the clean energy programs, and the need to have more women leading and shaping this transition are themes that are very close to me, very close to my heart. So finally, I had to give in to her invitation, and here I am today. So, coming to my specific journey, this all started in 2005 when I joined an undergraduate program in chemical engineering. It became progressively clear to me that all spheres of human activity actually depended on energy. Its availability, its accessibility, and its affordability were the most important factors for development, for progress. Of course, at that time, I did not know that I would finally be working in the energy sector in one form. But I believe that the desire to be a part of something that enables so many other sectors, that enables so much development and progress, this was always there. And I think it is true for a large number of people who finally do end up in this domain. So the need for energy and the need for this energy to be clean and sustainable, this became even more apparent when I joined the nuclear industry after finishing grad school in 2011. Once I started working, I started looking at how nuclear energy is more than just electricity. It has a number of non-electric applications that supports and complements so many other sectors that enable sustainable development, that leads to climate change mitigation and adaptation efforts. And I'm really glad that I am a part of this journey, part of this sector. More specifically, currently I'm looking at nuclear hydrogen production via electrolysis and the use of this hydrogen in many ways, as a carbon emissions free fuel, as an energy carrier, as a feedstock to a number of industries which are still dependent on fossil fuels, which are very energy intensive, which are strong emitters of carbon dioxide, as a method to dispatch clean renewable energy, as a complement to battery based energy storage, electricity storage, and more importantly, as an alternate technology to electrification in sectors such as aviation and shipping, which are not very well served by electrification even now. Through my research work, I am trying to create new value chains for hydrogen, particularly in the Indian context, and where hydrogen energy is still quite far from being commercialized. The recent flood of hydrogen strategies and plans announced by a number of countries, the European Union, for example, many individual countries in Europe, outside of Europe by, let's say, Scotland, Japan, Chile, Canada, these are huge sources of encouragement to me because it shows that hydrogen indeed is getting its due now, and that the work I do, that the work I hope to continue doing for the rest of my career also, uh, will enable India's own hydrogen energy programs to be realized. It will be a part of India's clean energy transition. So that's very inspiring to me. The climate crisis is huge, and it is progressively going to get worse if we don't take action now. And like with every other crisis, the role of women in managing the crisis, in averting far worse outcomes, this cannot be denied anywhere. If anything, the COVID 19 pandemic has shown us that countries led by women leaders, they have fared much, much better. And they have managed this health crisis much better than many other countries. And I think that the climate crisis will also similarly benefit from having more women at the forefront in every sector that contributes to climate change. I think the same women will now contribute to climate action. While we already have a higher level of empathy, higher emotional intelligence, these are well known, these are well accepted. Our technical, our managerial skills, our domain knowledge, these also should not be undermined by those in positions of power, because it is a collective effort that will ultimately change the course of human history as we know it now. The shipping industry, which supports so many facets of life as we know it today, be it through trade of finished goods or be it through the trade and exchange of commodities like crude oil, natural gas, metal ores, polymers, this industry is also no exception. The next decade, which is just a day away from now, this has been designated as the United Nations Decade of Sustainable Ocean Economy as well. And the shipping industry is one of those major forces that enable ocean economy to support life on land as well. Therefore, creating a sustainable, clean energy based shipping sector is crucial to meeting the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and so much more. In the course of the last few months, the shipping industry, the maritime sector, has seen so many exciting developments. We now have growing interest in hydrogen based shipping in place of a diesel or other hydrocarbon fuels. We have discussions about ammonia as a fuel for shipping as well. We have nuclear powered shipping coming up as a major concept. Nuclear powered ships have been around for a long time, but they may not have participated in active trade and commerce. And I'm sure that all these alternative ways of ensuring that shipping industry is sustainable and is a part of sustainable future, these will become reality very soon. I'm very hopeful of that. Given that we have enormous momentum in this field now, I think it is the right time for more women to embark on their own clean energy careers, contribute to the shipping sector and other domains which are part of supporting mankind's future. And I think you will have a lot of opportunities, and this is a time of flux. New things are constantly coming up. New knowledge is constantly being shared around the world. New developments are taking place every day. And I think alongside your regular academic programs, your academic careers, or your careers in whatever sector that you belong to, it is very important that you keep yourselves uh, updated about these latest developments. You keep yourselves aligned with whatever is happening. You network with the right people. You gather knowledge from the right sources. And I would strongly urge you to use even LinkedIn as a very, very useful tool for networking, for keeping yourselves updated, for learning more and more. And there really are a number of great resources that are shared by the people on LinkedIn and similar networking platforms. It is very encouraging, it is heartening, and this sort of an event also encourages me in trying to do more, in trying to be more through the work that I do. And I think that more such events are necessary. More such events are necessary to bring a large number of people together and enable them to network, to share their knowledge with each other, and to help each other progress and contribute to the clean energy revolution in diverse ways. So with this, I wish all of you a very happy new year 2021. I hope this turns out better than that for the others. And I wish that more such events take place in future that enable women to get their due role and their position in the clean energy revolution. Thank you so much.
Wow, did I tell you she's going to be amazing? And so amazing she is. And indeed, she has done a very brief masterclass on the clean energy available. And I knew she was going to do that. I knew she's going to give us a pretty good idea of what is happening on the transition. So, and this is one of the aspects of this platform. One of the goals of this platform is to create an educational platform for the ones that would like to learn about what is happening, what is changing in the market, what is available. Because I believe right now there is an opportunity, a huge opportunity in the market to learn about any technology. Like Diana said in the beginning about the wind, or we have the hydrogen, or we have the ammonia, we have the bio LNG. We have so many type of new clean energies, and I would like to have different kind of lessons or webinars with different experts in the field that they will come and discuss, present their case, so people can experience and can say, oh, that sounds interesting. I'd like to learn more about that. So it is a platform to help everyone to see what will they be passionate about. Because a few years ago, I was at the crossroad. I lost my passion for a while, and I needed to find what I'm passionate about. And it took me almost a year to find it, and my passion became focusing on digitalization and decarbonization of the industry, and especially the hydrogen. So I'm really passionate about this, and this is what I've been doing. But I'm passionate about the wind and methane and everything. So that is another goal of the platform. So thank you so much, Ruksha. It's been amazing, and I'm waiting for her to come back to do a masterclass on one of the amazing subjects she's doing. I mean, she's amazing. So yes, thank you so much. Our next stop, so we live in India and we're going to Philippines. Here we're going to meet another amazing lady. Her name is Kate. I met her this year. We both been part of some classes, some development programs we have done. And together we have, together with another guest, which is going to come later in the show, we have been supporting each other in creating the platforms we want. So one of the main one of the main things, or one of the main messages I like to pass through this platform is the importance of having a network, a group, a mentoring, someone you can bounce ideas back and forth. So we have been discussing, and Kate has been one amazing source of bounce back between us. She's a cross-cultural communication trainer. She originally, she's biracial. She is Filipinese, Greece, and she moved to London when she was a shipbroker, and then through different process, she became a coach. What the most part here, I would like you to listen to this, to Kate speaking, because we're having some amazing prizes. And one of the prize, it is part of her membership. She's going to speak later. And this is in the honor of my friend. She would have loved this membership. Kate is going to tell you all about later, so please watch it, and I will come back with more details tomorrow after we finish the launch, as I need the audience to tell me which prize you'd like to be nominated for. So, Kate, thank you so much for coming all the way from Philippines, and the floor is yours.
Hi everyone, this is Kate Bolano coming to you from the Philippines. It is such an honor to have been invited to this roundtable with so many inspiring women. I believe that collaboration and not competition can help us accelerate our careers even faster, and this initiative is another example of how this can be achieved. I've been around the maritime industry since I was a child, as my father is a marine engineer and has been telling us all about the life of a seafarer. My siblings and I all decided to study and work within the same industry, but in different positions. My beginning in maritime was in 2010, when I moved from Greece to England for my master's in shipping and commercial law. It was my first exposure, and because I didn't have prior first-hand experience, I found it quite challenging. I had a support system within my group of classmates and my family who helped me get through the year. After my studies, I worked as a shipbroker in London for nearly 6 years. The company I worked for was specializing in the marine construction sector, and I was involved in both the chartering and the selling purchase of marine equipment, such as dredgers, split barges, and tugboats. The majority of our clientele and projects were in Europe, but we were involved in many other parts of the world too. While I was employed there, I completed my professional qualification exams and became a member of the Institute of Chartered Shipbrokers. I learned so much during my studies there and would definitely recommend it to those who are considering doing it. When I was pregnant with my second child, I was made redundant. I took my maternity leave as scheduled and started planning my next step. At the time, I was still frustrated by how things had turned out and felt resentment. I could see that my work and efforts went unnoticed, that I had to try twice as hard as my male colleagues just to be seen as an equal. And with this negativity, I didn't want to hear anything about the shipping industry. I knew that having 2 young children and no other help apart from my husband, who was working long and odd hours, I couldn't go back as an employee. I had to set up my own business so I can work around my family's schedule. That's when I also decided to change my perspective. I had a choice of how I would react to what had happened to me. Either I would cross my arms and keep complaining, or I would take ownership of it and use it in a positive way. I studied executive coaching and women's leadership and decided to return to shipping and help other women who were facing similar challenges as I did. I quickly saw that so many women in male-dominated industries such as ours felt undervalued, unseen, and stuck in their positions. I knew I could use my knowledge and experience and become part of the solution. But my approach to women's leadership is different. I use a holistic approach, not one that points a finger to women. My goal is to make the shipping industry more inclusive, not to force a certain behavior to the group that is the least represented. When working with women, I help them develop the skills they need to showcase in order to be considered for senior positions. These skills are not the ones that we learn in uni. They are not the technical skills that are required to enter the maritime industry and find a job as a shipbroker or as an engineer. These are skills that we are somehow expected to have, but no one takes responsibility for teaching us. In my opinion, it is our own responsibility to develop them, as our career progression is also our responsibility. Skills such as emotional intelligence, executive presence, time management, study skills, and visibility are just examples of how I support women in maritime accelerate their careers. In the end, we all need a boost of confidence, and confidence comes with competence. The more you know, the more confident you feel. The more confident you feel, the more courageous you are to demonstrate yourself and put yourself out there, go after what you want, and take ownership of how your career unfolds. And with this in mind, I decided to create the membership club when the pandemic started. This is a private membership for women in maritime who are at the pre-managerial stage of their career. The membership club helps them accelerate their career and confidence by developing those skills I mentioned earlier, while also being coached and mentored for ultimate support. My second approach to making the maritime industry more inclusive is by helping maritime companies create a work environment that sets their employees up for success, regardless of their gender or cultural background. We work in a global industry with people from so many different countries. Being a biracial woman myself, I have first-hand experience of the challenges people may face while trying to communicate with someone from a different cultural background. The things we say or imply, the way we command or show respect, the way we want a leader to behave, all depend on the culture we grew up in and what is considered acceptable within its norms. By supporting maritime companies and training their multinational crew and staff members, we are bridging the communication gaps of our industry, creating an inclusive working environment where people leverage their natural abilities and thrive. My business developed and took this direction when I took a step back and tried to find what I was actually great at, rather than trying to beat myself up for all the things I wasn't good at. And that's the main message I would like to pass on to our audience and the advice I would give my younger self. The maritime industry can be challenging, but it's also very rewarding and fulfilling. It is male-dominated, and the numbers show it, but that doesn't mean you need to change who you are in order to succeed. You can and you should leverage your natural abilities and talents. The way you can do this is by internalizing your successes. Write down everything you have accomplished so far, whether that's in your career or in your personal life. Try to find a pattern there, a way of thinking or acting. What do you notice? How can you leverage that within your work? Be proud of what you have achieved and use that natural talents you have to add value at work and in your life. There is no need to feel embarrassed of your successes. There is no need to shy away from the things you are good at. I want you to understand that you have a responsibility towards yourself to take the helm of your life and not wait for others to make it happen for you. Understanding what your strengths are and the importance of leveraging them is very important. That is when you will start feeling fulfilled and success will come naturally. Last but not least, believe in yourself and your abilities to figure things out, no matter what challenges you face. Enjoy the rest of the presentations and wishing you health, joy, and happiness.
Oh my goodness. How amazing was that? Thank you so much, Kate. So now you can see I have this amazing prize, a 3-month membership in her membership club. It is for the ladies in pre-managerial stage of their career. She is amazing, Kate. We've been collaborating together, and I hope she will be a frequent guest on this platform And she is such an inspirational coach. I mean, I really love everything she's doing and everything she says about being yourself. Find just points you're good. We don't have to be perfect. We don't have to be too good at everything, right? We need to be ourselves. As Vicky says, we need to be raw and real. Trust the process. Be positive. Always believe there is a solution to the problem. And I know sometimes there are really hard times, we feel it, but then we need to look at the positive side of things and we need to find a solution because every problem has a solution. So thank you so much, Kate. So please, everyone, tomorrow or after the show, there will be, you'll have to let me know which which prize you're going to choose, because I have two more amazing amazing prizes to come. I'm so excited. I want to speak it faster and faster, but I can't. So I need to slow down. Slow down, Isabella. Just enjoy. I'm having so much fun, as you can tell, right? Yes, what I want to say, there was something about, but I will come back later. I'm too pumped up. So we have been already through our first half of the ladies. Did I tell you? All of them are amazing. And we're having another 4 amazing ladies that we want to have more time. And I hope they will all coming again and teach us and do more classes with us. Our next lady, we're moving from Philippines, not far, to Australia, to the beautiful Australian continent, where the lovely lady, Corinne, she is also a part of our group. And again, going back to having a mentoring, a network to help each other. She is another amazing lady, from dealing with special needs children to the yacht crew. In the process, she even been doing work in correctional service in Australia. I mean, she has an amazing stories, her experience she has been through. I suggest to follow her. I mean, suggest to follow all the guests. She is concentrating on the crew of the yachting industry, using her psychology, counseling, and business degrees. And again, we have a surprise here. Will be another prize for her membership for 3 months for the lucky winners. So please watch this, watch Corinne, and enjoy. Corinne, the floor is over to you. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Hi everyone, my name is Corinne Rayson and I am the owner of The Crew Coach. Before I begin, I just wanted to say thank you very much for having me at this important and special event. And I'm actually feeling a little bit sad because I would love to be there in person and meet you all and hear your inspirational stories. Before I begin, I must be honest, I am doing this talk organically, meaning I am speaking from my heart. I haven't prepared a script, however, I have prepared some notes so that I don't waffle and I can stay on track. So I might glance upon those notes from time to time. A valuable lesson I learned while I was working for the Department of Justice in maximum security prisons. I got offered a job 2 years before finishing my degree, and I suffered from imposter syndrome. I thought, oh my goodness, these inmates have so many problems that I want to help fix, but I don't even know where I'm going to begin, and I don't know enough. And so I would carry my textbook everywhere, literally everywhere. It was in bed with me when I'd go to sleep at night. And I thought, just in case I'd wake up in the middle of the night, I could probably flick through a couple of chapters before the following day at work when I would run group work facilitation. And in the group, the first cohort I had this enormous inmate, and he was under the influence of drugs. They do smuggle drugs in the prison system. And I was told to sit by the door in case there was an emergency and we had to escape. And I thought, oh my word, what am I getting myself into? And so my mind, as you would understand, was very busy thinking about, you know, my safety, my security, what happens if a event does happen that I do need to escape, but also being present and connecting with these individuals and listening to their stories, which were incredibly traumatic. And for me to being able to process that and respond accordingly while knowing my theory and how to apply it. Now, this particular inmate, Dimitrovic, he said to me, Karine, please, can you put your book down and just talk to us? So I am going to let go of my desire to be perfect, and I'm just going to talk to you today. Now, I want to start off with hope, inspiration, and transformation, because Isabella told me this is essentially what this event is about. So for me, hope is about knowing, having that innate feeling that you can achieve your dreams. Nothing is impossible. And I can tell you it's not, because I've had these amazing dreams, like having my own business and pursuing my passions. And this is what I'm doing here today. Inspiration is about marrying your purpose and your passion. Transformation comes through living out your why, which is your purpose and your passion. I know that some of you may be thinking, but I don't know what my purpose is. I know what I'm somewhat good at, but is that my passion? So what helped me is self-awareness, creating that space to reflect. As a little girl, I knew that I was good at listening because adults would come to me and tell me their problems. I knew that I was able to demonstrate empathy because I think that's why they kept coming back. I also knew that I wanted to serve and help others, and it felt good to be able to do so. So putting all that together, I think it's not a surprise that I ended up studying psychology, but what was important to me is to fine-tune that and channel it into something a lot bigger than myself. Now, I want us to do a short reflection exercise. I want you to grab a pen and paper if you haven't done so already, and I want you to think about, where are you now in your career? Are you fulfilled? Do you know what your strengths are? And are you utilizing your strengths in the workplace? And lastly, do you feel that you are making a positive impact? Once you've thought about those aspects, I want you to think about where you would like to be in your career. So if some of those boxes aren't ticked, think about how you can close the gap and what would your ideal career look like. And what is really, really important to think about is, what is your safety blanket? What is stopping you from living out your dream career? So for me, what I had to work on and reframe, and I actually loved this process. I loved going to interviews because I wanted to embrace it as a learning experience. If I didn't get the job, that was okay, because I was going to walk away with all this learning from the interview. So instead of focusing on what if I failed, I focused on what can I learn. And every job that I have literally applied for, I've got. And I think that's because I really surrendered and rather saw it as an opportunity to expand myself. So for me, failure, rather than it being, seeing it as a defining moment of being unsuccessful, I rather saw it as my stepping stone to success. I am truly grateful and I feel very fortunate that I have landed myself in a position where I'm living out my purpose and my passion. Work doesn't feel like work. It is an absolute joy for me. And I know that each and every one of you can experience that too. It does require a lot of work. It does require reflection, but it also requires action. If we're going to stay behind our security blanket, we're not going to be able to actualize our goals. And what I offer the maritime industry and super yacht crew is the opportunity to find your why, your purpose, and your identity. Because I feel like in careers and life, we wear all these different hats, and it might not be the hat that we truly want to wear. So it's exploring that, it's discovering that, it's about mastery, it's about self-fulfillment. So what this membership does, it helps individuals connect not only with others and like-minded people who share the same values as you, but to connect to yourself. And it's also about discovering you, your natural strengths, your talents, your purpose, your why, your areas for improvement. Then it's about develop, which is developing those skill sets, looking at closing the gap, looking at how you can reach your potential. And then we have mastery, and mastery is the ability to apply your skills and your learnings to serve others. And then we find ourselves in a place of self-fulfillment. And there's nothing better than being on that pinnacle of self-actualization. I just wanted to say thank you so much again for being able to share my insights with you, and I wish you every success in your future. Take care. Bye.
Wow. Another amazing session, right? I mean, Corinne explained so well the help she's giving to the crew. So this is why I asked her to go in some details. So I like everyone to choose very careful the price they would like to apply, because they are very different. As you can see, the first one was for the women, for the young women, pre-managerial stage. This is completely different, but very wonderful. And I so love the way how she explains the success path. And to get the last one, the mastery and you know what I mean. So the last self-sufficiency, that is the best stage to be. So thank you so much, Corinne. I really appreciate it. It's amazing work you're doing, and I wish you all the success as well. Okay. Now we are moving away. We're coming to the amazing South American continent. And here we're going to go to Colombia, where we're going to meet the amazing Eugenia. I met Eugenia many years ago. I remember very clearly. I think it was one of my first trips in Hong Kong. And we had dinner with a very good friend of mine, who introduced us, the three of us. We had dinner and we met in London through different events, especially during the IP week, which of course is been missed probably next year. I don't think it's going to be any in 2021. And this is why another reason I'm saying I want to show you how amazing is a friendship between people, women, the network, the support. As I said, I met Eugenia through a very good friend of mine, and we met the three of us, and we continue our friendship, which is wonderful. And this is the platform I'd like to bring everyone to make friends, mentors, as I mentioned before. So yes, Eugenia has been working in this industry since 1984, and she has she started in the major oil company and has moved from a sales assistant becoming the director of marine fuels for the last 16 years. She's has amazing work. She's been part of so many association with being on the board of directors, being on so many prestigious positions. I have so much respect for her. She's an example and a role model for all of us. And I ask her to talk about her career and also to give an advice to the young generation that is joining or would like to join the energy aspect. And please, Eugenia, share with us your thoughts and your experience. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever in the world you are at this moment. Thank you, Isabella, for inviting me to participate in the launch of Ladyship RoundTable. What seems possible becomes possible when there is discipline, creativity, and persistence, and you make reality your dream. Congratulations for this project. I was born and raised in Barranquilla, Colombia. I went to an only girls' school. When I went to the university, my first year in college was also in an only girls' college, and then I finished my university at a co-ed one and started my semester of practice in a petroleum company, recently established at that time in my city. That is Terpel, where I'm still working. When I started there, we were only 4 persons, so I grew and learned a lot as the company was growing. The oil companies, or the big sisters as they were known at that time, were of pure men, but they started opening for us, the woman, and I have been there for 36 years as today. After many years selling fuels and lubricants to service stations, going on the road all over my region, visiting the customers of the industry and customers in the airports in the northern coast of my country, the 7 regional companies merged in one nationwide big company. And in year 2004, I started working managing the marine business in the company solely. The maritime industry as well was a male one, but it has been changing. Now we have a lot of female colleagues in all of the stakeholders of the market. As Simon Sinek says, working hard for something we don't care about is called stress, but working hard for something we love is called passion. We have to love what we do in any field in your life, because otherwise life will become very tiring and every day will be very boring. And I think passion is the key for success. This will take you to your final destination. It is very difficult to do something you don't like every day. So you have to have enthusiasm and energy in whatever you do in your life. But the most important thing is that you love what you do, that you enjoy your daily work, as you spend more active time working than the time that you are active in your house. For the new people coming to the industry, I have some tips that could work not only for the maritime business, but for anything in your personal life. These tips are, first of all, you should read the press. You should be informed of what's going on. You read and you be informed. The information is the key to success. Press and all the specialized publications in a particular business are great to focus on the current market demands. We have to know what's going on in our environment and in our market. You should subscribe for a free e-shots in all the specialized companies and publications in the business that you are, and then you decide where to take out full subscriptions. You have to be at the forefront of the technology. To be competitive in today's market, you must always be connected in order to interact with your customers, suppliers, traders, competitors. Have every possible application that you can have in your iPhone and then connected. Be at the full possible range of desktop facilities. Remember that time zone is an international business, so you should be aware of that. You should also update on events and training courses. 2, update on all the events In a changing and the global environment life that we operate, we should be updated through the training courses within the company and outside the company to maintain and develop skills in your field. You should boost your networking. It is necessary, and I think it's a must to develop and maintain a professional relationship. This is a key issue to have success in life. You cannot lose you cannot lose contact with anyone. Remember that someone comes to your life for a reason always. One, we should participate in conventions, forums, webinars, as well as conferences that are held face-to-face, hopefully in all continents after the pandemic ends. You should choose the nearest events in the industry you're working, because in that event, you can give away your business card, you meet people, you meet potential customers, you meet your competitors, and after event, you have to add all of those contacts that you got to your LinkedIn profile. And also, it will be a detail, very, very nice, to send an email saying that it was a pleasure to meet them and that you are available for any business that they need. You have to start building and constructing a relationship with them. You don't know when you need help from them. You have to research your basic stakeholders. You can join an association where you will constantly be getting updated information about the industry. It is also a way of knowing your customers, your competitors, which companies are in the market, in the region, and which companies are leading certain projects. The most important thing is love and passion for whatever you do in your life. Remember that you have to do everything with love, passion, and everything will go smoothly and you will get a success in your life. And always, please be happy and keep smiling.
Thank you so much. And it's so true. I love the passion of Eugenia. As she says, we need to have passion. As many other guests mentioned, the passion. And what a great advice from her for the young generation. Yes, I thought if someone could give advices, she would be the one. I mean, after all this season of business, seeing all the levels of the industry, with all the achievements, she is truly a role model. And indeed, it's very important to be part of networks. And talking about this, I can say that this year I have seen a lot of movement, more networks, more collaborations about women. And it's so great to see so much movement about women empowerment. And I hope we all collaborate together, because we all have the same goal of diversity and gender equality. And I'm happy to say that already I'm having some plans for January, some amazing project, and hopefully with another network is going to join us, and we're going to discuss what they do, because it's all about education, it's all about empowerment, inspiration, see what we do, learn something new, learn a new skill, and be ready for 2021. Okay, so thank you again, Eugenia. Okay, now we're the last two guests. I can't believe the time is going so fast. We're having so much fun. But from South America, we're going to North America, and we're going to Canada, where I have the honor to introduce my dear friend, a really true leader in the field, someone I have so much respect and I love so much, and I can consider her a really good friend to me, a leader. I'm inspired. Her name is Diana, and I think we know each other for 3 years. We started collaborating together on some digital projects when I was working a couple of years ago, and since then we are collaborated more, and I love everything she's doing. I love her inspiration, and I love her passion she brings into the shipping industry, the need for digitization, for transparency. We're sharing the same views points. So you're going to be inspired by my good friend, Diana. So Diana is the CEO of the blog, the Blockchain for Open Collaboration, and co-founder of Bunker Trace. Together, she's helping changing the maritime energy through blockchain solutions. At Bunker Trace, which Diana co-founded in 2019, her goal was to use combination of synthetic DNA and blockchain to enhance marine fuel traceability, a goal which the company has achieved in just 1 year time. She's a respected public speaker and a proponent of open source technology. She's using her expertise in the blockchain field to educate us in all the aspects of this emerging field. Thank you so much, Diana, and welcome to us, to these platforms. And I can't wait to hear your story. Over to you, my friend.
Thank you, Isabella, and thank you for having me. I'm honored to be here today, together with all of these very inspiring and empowering women that I've had the privilege to hear the stories of. I think the Ladyship RoundTable and being a part of this launch is something that we need in the industry in this sector, and I'm very honored to be a part of this. I today will also like to speak quite organically and from the heart, but give you and anybody watching and any young or inspired person to come into the shipping sector, my perspective. I come from this as being a woman in shipping, a woman founder, a woman in technology, a newcomer to the shipping sector, and a part of the younger generation that's entering into this sector as well. So I think I can shed quite a lot of perspective in those directions and in those areas for any of those that are considering coming into the sector or starting their own company. And then from that, I'd like to start by saying that it wasn't necessarily my intention to come into the shipping sector to start a career within this sector at all. In fact, I did not know much about it, but having worked within the various fields of renewable energy and biotechnology and medical technology as well, working with technology in sectors and industries like agriculture and male-dominated sectors, I wasn't unprepared for this sector, but it was quite a shock to be a part of it. So I had actually done my master's and moved to Copenhagen, Denmark, which is where I live now, and I'm home for the holidays in Canada as well, and I go between the two. But when I came to Copenhagen, I had spent many years not only doing my master's, but working in the medical and life science fields, and it was a few years in when I had lost kind of my motivation or was just changing my direction of my career. I'd finished my master's, had to decide what I wanted to do. I was ready to leave, in fact, and potentially start somewhere else or start an entirely new direction for myself when I discovered, blockchain technology in this interesting area of this open source movement. I work within governance academically, and I like to think of open and democratic processes for decision making and for governing the new paradigm, our sectors or our transition to sustainable economy. And after having done kind of this competition, this innovation and tech competition, I had met a few people that ended up being the co-founders of my company. And it was in particular my one co-founder, Morris, that had been working within the shipping sector for quite some years. And that is usually the case in Denmark as well, given that Maersk is the headquartered there and that the country itself works a lot within the shipping sector. And he was a huge proponent of decarbonization and decarbonizing the shipping sector. He opened my eyes to this entire massive global challenge that we face, that the trade and shipping and maritime sector is at the heart of, which is, as Diane mentioned earlier, 2.5% of the world's carbon, but 90% of everything that we see in front of us or we touch on a daily basis comes off of a ship. And that ship uses unrefined crude oil to move our goods around the world. And that to me was such a shocking revelation. And it also gave me a sense of motivation and challenge to hopefully try to impact this sector. And if I could, knowing that if I was able to help with this transition, it would have such a great impact on the world as well, and on our sustainable development as an economy. And unfortunately, shortly after launching my company Blockchain Labs for Open Collaboration, I lost Morris in a tragic accident actually this month 3 years ago. And I was not sure whether I would keep going and whether I would be able to continue what I was doing and to continue running my company. But I did end up doing that, not only because of the outpouring of help and inspiration that I received from the industry that knew him and from my friends and colleagues, but also because there was such an important mission that we were heading for, and that he had been a part of defining, which was decarbonizing the sector. So we came back together, and we had basically started a program of bringing the industry together to collaborate, because often in the shipping sector, everything is quite siloed. People are siloed, our processes are siloed, the logistics sector in of itself is quite a fractioned and siloed industry. So we were bringing, and that's how I met Isabella, companies together to collaborate around issues and problems that affected them and affect the shipping sector at large, usually around decarbonization. And from there, we spun out our company, my second company now, Bunker Trace, as mentioned in the introduction. And what we work on there is how to help to transition this sector to sustainable and low carbon fuels. And we're doing that through helping to create enforcement around the new environmental legislations in the shipping sector from the International Maritime Organization. And we do that by adding physical tags to the fuel and digitally tracing the fuel, because there just is zero accountability and zero tracing in this sector. There's not a lot of data as to where the fuel is coming from. There's a lot of fraud as well. So we're hoping to open up that the entire sector and bunkering sector at large to more transparent and traceable marine fuels, as well as to transition into more sustainable fuels and to provide the technical metrics that help with sustainability reporting, with carbon initiatives, with retrofitting programs. And all that time that we've been doing this, there are some lessons that I thought it would be good to share today as well. It's quite a big ambition that we have. I recognize that. And we're in a sector that is notoriously adverse to change, that is slow to change as well. We've inherited this large industry that's been at the backbone of the economy since the dawn of time. And I think there's much to be said about how patience is a virtue. I've been working for a long time now with many other women at the helm of my company as well. In fact, I find that women are very prevalent in this sector and are the ones that are able to bring forward more of a systemic way of thinking, are the ones that help to shape and form collaboration, bring that forward to the forefront. They're often involved in sustainability initiatives, have a process-oriented way of thinking, and take leadership in this area very seriously, and are able to bring those with them on that journey. And that's something that I believe we can all do together. I think no matter how hard this is, no matter the ups and downs that you face, the losses, the hardships, the fact that it's very difficult to create change, to run a company, to manage it all, I think we can do that together, and that women together allow for that level of collaboration, and they bring forth a new perspective that we otherwise wouldn't have. So from me to all of you out there listening, I would like to say that we're in this together, and that through collaboration and through empowering each other, we can truly make a difference if we have the patience and the strength to do so. Thank you.
How amazing, how amazing. Thank you so much, Nana, for coming here, for sharing your vision. You're truly an inspiration to me, and I'm so looking forward to see what the things will develop with all the projects that you're working on. Now we're coming to the end of our trip around the world. I'm so sad because I'm having so much fun. I can't believe the time is going so fast, right? So we're moving from Canada, We're coming to the beautiful city of Lagos, West Africa, Nigeria. And it's our last port of call, and not another amazing lady, Sophia. We have met recently, and I contacted her because I've been so inspired by what I was reading and things she's been doing. And I convinced her to join us here because she has an amazing experience, 15 years experience in the oil and gas. Besides that, she is a true inspiration to me because she is empowering young girls in STEM. She has creating mentorship programs. She is everything I call inspiration and a role model to all of us. And I love everything she's doing. Sophia, thank you so much for being here with us. As I said, she's been over 15 years career in the upstream oil and gas in the train technical and business delivery. She champions digital transformation and supports development of operations team to achieve operation excellence through design, scoping, and identifying technologies to drive down cost. While leveraging data to make data-driven decisions, she is a recipient of industry awards and author of several technical papers in her domain. Sophia is passionate about mentoring young engineers and women in STEM. She sponsors scholarships and fundraising for this cause through her professional membership of the Society of Petroleum Engineers. Sophia, thank you so much for coming and joining us, and I'm passing the floor to you now.
Thank you ever so much, Isabella. Thank you for the invitation to be part of this. I am actually feeling quite special to be the last speaker here because I do know I am tremendously inspired by all the 7 women, powerful women I've listened to tonight. So hello, everyone, and happy holiday greetings from Lagos. It's amazing how close we are to the end of a year that will likely be one of the most memorable in our lifetime for many of us. I'm so glad to be joining this special edition of HIT Talk on the launch of the ladies at the RoundTable as one of 8 guests sharing our stories related to our common values of hope, inspiration, transformation, empowerment, and passion. As you know, this journey, this voyage of the Ladyship at the RoundTable is a mission to explore new ways to inspire and empower women in our respective industries, helping us seek out new ways for decarbonization and digitalization. Now, when Isabella Tatu, the founder and host of this Ladyship Roundtable, invited me to be part of this, I considered it an honor and a privilege to sit alongside women from different parts of the world to talk about, technology and mentoring and ideas for the common issues related to our industries. I thought of all the ways our industries are intertwined. I'm in oil and gas, for example, and how this network allows us to bring different aspects of oil and gas, maritime, technology, banking, green energy, name it, under one umbrella to create a community and a platform to support each other and to find possible ways for future collaboration. It's all the more important to me that we are mostly in male-dominated industries. Right now, we are a long way off from technology disruption. But more so, this roundtable gives me the chance to talk about subjects that are dearest to me: female empowerment, mentoring, technology, and digital transformation. So I thought I should put the discussion in the context of our shared values, and it seems apt to pause and reflect, as we always do at this time of the year. I thought about the drivers for the values and how I myself have evolved professionally and personally through 2020, and thought that this is what I would like to share in this time. Now, when I think of my values, I think of the things that I want or that matter to me, and those things amount to my value drivers. In 2020 especially, resilience, growth, efficiency, autonomy, and excellence were important to me. And those distill into the values of hope, inspiration, transformation, empowerment, and passion that we are talking about today. When I was 14 years old, I met a female engineer for the first time, and I decided I too was going to be an engineer. And I came to understand from that young age the power of inspiring and mentoring people just by achieving your own goals. And that experience was pivotal and came to define my own core values and my purpose in life. My greatest pleasures have come from helping others achieve their aspirations. So early in 2020, as COVID-19 was declared a pandemic and the lockdowns started, I decided to go one step further and sponsor scholarship. In so doing, I felt I was extending some hope to someone to achieve their goals of completing their studies this year in whatever small way that my contributions could help. Then I thought about my own career and education path and journey. I have a growth mindset, and I actually realized that the crisis provided a great opportunity for me to pursue the executive MBA I've been longing to do. It also provided an opportunity to expand my network. And this has really given me inspiration on my job and in my career that has led to me sitting here at this round table. Of course, as the pandemic, the lockdowns led to a fall in demand for crude oil and the subsequent drop in oil prices, it has accelerated the transition to an energy mix. But it made people like me that started our careers in the oil and gas industry start to wonder how quickly this could all be over. And we've seen a move away from capital investments in traditional oil and gas, not just because of the performance, but also because of the drive towards renewable and captured energies. So our collective thoughts were, where will all of this go? Where will this lead? But I've come to the realization that there is still very much a place for us in oil and gas. And it's interesting that oil and gas will still play an important role in global development, even with energy transition and decarbonization trends. But the key here is efficiency. And for me, this is where digital transformation comes in. Now, as I mentioned, I crave autonomy. I wanted to broaden out of a technical function. So I joined an independent company 3 years ago that would allow me to become more involved in the commercial and the business aspects of oil and gas. So I took that a step further in 2020 and expanded my role as head of production engineering to include ownership of field management, which has direct impact now on the bottom line. And as to staying motivated and delivering excellence through 2020, well, I found that by always keeping in mind the things that mattered, I could achieve that. I always remember what my grandfather would say, that anything worth doing is worth doing well. So what does all of this mean? Well, there are 3 things that I have imbibed personally, which I'd like to impart here, and which I believe will guide me through 2021. First of all, adaptability and flexibility will get you far, even in the unknown. I recently read about the story of the bridge on the river Choluteca in Honduras. I hope I pronounced that correctly. It's the story of a bridge that was completed just as a storm changed the course of the river. So this has left the bridge literally going nowhere. Now that bridge now stands as a metaphor for what can happen if we don't adapt as the world around us gets transformed. So the lesson is that we must adapt to change. Secondly, my experiences have shown me how vital diversity is to problem solving and creativity. You can't learn everything though, and this is where having a strong network counts. Don't just limit it to those in your company or your own industry. This is something I'm working on myself, and I'm finding that as I do it, I am the better for it. Thirdly, retain a growth mindset and seek out ways to improve yourself. Don't be in denial about what's going on. For me, digital transformation will play a vital part in climate change, energy transitions, and operations efficiency in any industry. Embrace it and learn as much as you can about it. Now, to close this, let me say that the path may seem less defined for many of us. And of course, there's uncertainty as to what 2021 holds. Still so many unanswered questions, and residual concerns. And if you're thinking about what next or where to go from here, think about the things you want and how they translate to your values, and then take action. Let me quote a line from one of my favorite poems. It says, "Traveler, there is no path. The path is made by walking." Thank you so very much for your time, and again, for allowing me to be part of this, and Happy New Year in advance. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. Thank you so much, Sophia. I love everything you said. I totally agree. The poem, it sounds wonderful. It's so true. Thank you. Thank you to all the amazing 8 ladies. I hope you're coming again, and I hope you will collaborate in the future projects, and we create a platform where we can learn new skills. And exactly as Sophia said, it's all about learning, doing things we know well. It's a constant learning. So I think, yes, 2021 is a year of resilience and learning. So thank you so much. Well, it is the end of our journey around the world. We're coming back to UK. And so we had a journey around the world in different fields, from wind technology to hydrogen to bunkering and technology to mentoring young women into managerial level, to mentoring crew into mastery, into learning about the experience of a 34 years in the field of energy aspect, to the digital side and to the oil field and analytical side with a view of the 2021. I believe that each speaker has spoken from their heart. They have been raw and real and have given us inspiration, transformation, and hope, not only to our industry, but as a society in a whole, to everyone who is watching. And I hope that everyone has been inspired and empowered to enter the 2021 in a new way, stronger and better. At the beginning of the show, I have received a message from one of my very good friends wishing me the best for the show. And I said, I don't want to be perfection, which for me, for the type of person I am, perfection is the key, detail and perfection. However, perfection is not the point. For me, it's about inspiration and being proud being a woman. And after watching all these amazing speakers, oh my God, I'm so proud of being a woman. And I know so many women who are so amazing. And we can all sit boldly at the round table, and we have a voice, we can express it in a harmonious, peaceful, and loving way. We can express our views clear and loud, not loud, clear, and we can express our ways in a very good way. So our points are made, and we deserve a seat at the round table of discussions, even at the UK government panel for the next United Nations. We need to sign that petition. So please, everyone, sign the petition that women need to be involved in the UK government summit, UN summit for 2021. Now, I have one more thing to share with you. I have another amazing prize. The prize, it is with the host, our host today, which is Vicky Thomas. I am part of her training program, container as we call it, and she gracefully has offered me a membership for someone. So I'm offering to the audience, it's a 3-month membership in one of her container. Vicky, it is an amazing, thoughtful leader in the field of empowerment. And again, there is a unit for women where she's sharing with us daily, from day to day, to inspiration, empowerment, and transformation. Additional to other services she's providing, and she's offering to the client sessions of balance and development on energetical level. These containers on business development are inspirational, and for me, it's been great. I've been part of a container since I believe since May, June this year, and I love it. It is one of the best things I have done, and I have invested in myself. I truly admire Vicky. She's one of my role models. I love her energy, her passion. She's inspiring. So the third prize, it is a prize in her membership. So with this saying, I'm going to say goodbye to all of you. Thank you for being here with us live, and thank you for the one who is going to watch. Please don't forget to send us a note which prize you like to win, and I hope we'll see you in the January sessions. Thank you again so much. I'd like to wish you a happy new year and all the best in 2021. And thank you to Vicky for having me here, for letting me use her platform. Collaboration is the key for 2021, and together we're better. So Vicky, thank you so much for everything and for making my dream come true. Together we made this launch possible, and I am so happy and so grateful. Thank you so much.
Oh, my love, you are more than welcome. And honestly, it is so nice to sit backstage and just watch somebody else shine. And I do have to say, you have shone, Isabella. It's just been truly inspirational to see how you grow. And what I really love about it, and the amount of time that we spend together, we spend a lot of time together, is the amount of words, the amount of times you use the word amazing. Because everyone says to me on the Hit Talk shows, how many times do you say amazing? And it's just been a truly amazing platform. It's been a truly amazing show. You bringing together these ladies of just empowerment, just of inspiration. And yes, 2021 is all about collaboration. And when you think about collaboration, you know, it really has taken out of the field the word competition. I truly do believe. And, you know, the more that we work with energetic words, the more that we work with powerful words that really are going to inspire us, that really are going to lift us up in whatever business that we're in. That is the key. That is what is such amazing when you're actually aligned with these kind of people. And yes, I have decided to offer one of the prizes to Isabella because I just love her passion of what she's put into this launch. You know, this was only decided just over a month ago, and we've worked together to really bring this out there to the market. And what she is doing when she's hosting, she's going to host her own shows, and everything that she's doing to inspire the people in the industry is really, really, really informative, but it's also transformational, but it's also so much needed. If you've listened to all of these ladies speakers about the empowerment that they have in their industry and how they're going to be able to guide others. And so when she said she was doing prizes, I said, okay, we'll just throw one of my containers, which is totally different to Hit Talks. It's all about aligning your life with magic and with truth. And we do that with energetic work. We do that with following the Mayan calendar. And yes, I do speak to the ladies every single day. And that's what I love. I love inspiring people. I love actually being part of a community where we're all lifting each other together, but it's raw and real and it's from the heart. That's how we grow. So again, thank you very much to every single person that has been here on this live episode of this special edition with Ladyship RoundTable, and everybody that is watching the replay, because that's the thing. It's that you can come back at any time and watch these episodes. Come back at any time, because there is going to be snippets of hope, snippets of inspiration, snippets of transformation, snippets of empowerment, and snippets of passion coming through at different times when you watch them. So again, from the bottom of my heart and from the bottom of the Hit Talks team heart, who works so hard behind the scenes to pull all this together, thank you for being part of it. And if you're interested interested in hosting your own special edition of Hit Talks, please do reach out to us, and please make sure that you subscribe to the Ladyship Roundtable, because then you're going to be able to be available for all of these prizes and for all the magic that is coming up. So from the bottom of my heart, I do have to say Happy New Year to you. I know 2020 is going to be absolutely amazing. I had to say the word amazing. It's going to be inspirational, it's going to be transformational, and it's going to be able to bring you so much hope into wherever you are in your life. So again, all my love for now and for 2020, and from the Hit Talks team.